Hello everyone, here we have the final episode of the Modern Initial D series. So this is it. It's been a long time in the making. This is the finale. And sorry if I'm breathing a little heavy. My allergies have been absolutely wicked lately. They've been destroying me for like the past 2 weeks. Anyway, excuse me. So, as I said previously, we made the Supra. That this car we did not make in the original Initial D series a few years back. This being the modern version of Itsuki's 85. And hear me out on this before you leave. The reason I did the GT86 is because there is no modern GT85. There's no 85 anymore. And I couldn't do the GR86 because I did that for Takami's AE86. So, I figured instead of the AE85, do the GT86 as the modern version. Because I didn't want the same car, but I wanted a similar car. Yeah, that's pretty much my explanation on that. So, we didn't do this in the original series because there obviously is no AE85 in the game. Or honestly, I'd do it even if they had an AE86 Levin. But they don't even have a Levin. They just have the AE86 Trueno. So, before we get into things, how you guys feel about the band Kiss? I'm asking band questions lately. I freaking love Kiss. I always have since I was a little kid. But like, the reason I'm asking about this band specifically is because I was watching Scooby-Doo with the little cousins not long ago. And there was a Scooby-Doo and Kiss crossover. And I didn't know that it was a thing. Apparently it came out like 10 years ago. But I didn't even know it was a thing until very recently. As in like a week ago, if that. But yeah. My little cousins, they were tripping when I knew all the songs that were playing during the little like movie thing. They were like, "You know all the songs?" I'm like, yes, I do. I was raised properly, unlike the kids of this younger generation. Or even my generation, the kids were not raised properly. A lot of them. Listening to this hood rap. But anyway, let's get into it. We're gonna do first. We're gonna go over the build, the tune. I'll show you guys how to make the car look the way it does. We're gonna take it down the mountain pass, plain and simple, one last time. Unless I find some excuse to make more mountain pass cars, which I shouldn't. I shouldn't find another excuse. I can't think of any reason as to why I would need another reason to make any more mountain pass cars for a while. So, let's begin. Starting with the conversions, stock engine, excuse me, stock rear wheel drive. Oh my goodness, I need to cough again. I need a drink of water. So yeah, stock rear wheel drive drivetrain, and here is the kicker here. Sorry about that. Excuse me. This car is not NA. I did strap a Turbski on there, a spoolie boy, a snail, a go-go snail, like whatever you want to call it. Because that was like a big deal in the show when they turboed the 85. So I mean, like, I had to turbo it. Had to. It was only right. And of course, no body kit. Ugh, I don't even look right. That doesn't even look right. Okay, moving on. As for aero, I think it should just be all stock. Except for the rear wing, we did take off the spoiler. That's a little stock spoiler, we did take that off. Stock rear bumper. I don't even know what the side skirts are. Oh, okay, yeah, stock side skirts as well. Then for the wheel and tire section, you want the semi-slick race tire compound. The 225mm front tires. I really need to blow my nose. I should have done that before recording, but I don't really feel like stopping and starting again. Once I go, I'm on a roll, you know. The 295mm rear tires. Moving on to the wheels. In this situation, I would normally say that I use different wheels than what I made on the original car 2 years back, but this isn't the case for this car. I found wheels that looked most like the ones from the pictures I found on Google. In turn, being the American Racing VF310s. These are most likely not, actually I'm 100% certain these are not the exact wheels that were on the car in the show, but I wanted something with similar styling that was a little more modern, and this is what I came up with. If you don't like it, feel free to change them. I know it's a bit of a hot take. I came at that a little aggressive, guys. I'm sorry about that. I came at that, I feel like I was being kind of aggressive there. But my point does stand. If you don't like it, change it. Anyway, for the rear track width, you want the maxed out widest one you can get, and for the front you want the middle one. Here, this second one. My allergies are killing me. Will I survive to the end of this video? Most likely yes. It's just allergies. I'd hope I don't have a heart attack or something in the middle of recording this. But yes. Will I actually survive? Yes. But mentally, will I survive? Probably not, because I'm being driven insane right now by these allergies. So anyway, race clutch, race transmission, race driveline, race differential, race brakes, race suspension, race front anti-roll bars, race rear anti-roll bars, no roll cage, race weight reduction. Moving on to the engine bits, race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race valves, race cams, race exhaust, race engine block, race pistons, street turbo, which is in turn the stock turbo. But yeah, that is for handling purposes why I kept the street one. Race pistons, race engine block, race intercooler, race oil and cooling, finally race flywheel. One thing I'd like to add though on that turbo, another thing why I kept it that stock one that it came with, the street turbo, is because the power here, this power rating, is mid S1. I mean, I can get away with these. Honestly, I can get away with the race turbo as well, but for handling purposes, I kept it the street turbo. And because like the power points, I wanted that mid S1 area, so all the cars were like, yeah, there's gonna be some that are better than others. Like the freaking twin turbo R35 GTR is obviously gonna be a lot quicker than this single turbo GT86 that is 8 years older than that. So yeah, well, I guess technically not 8. The GTR I think is like a 2017, so 4. I'm unable to think clearly right now, but yeah. So clearly, like the twin turbo R35 GTR is gonna be faster and a lot better than this single turbo GT86 that's rear wheel drive. But that gap isn't gonna be so massive that you're just gonna get blown out the water, you know? There's still a chance for this to win. I mean, like there always is, but it's not like a massive performance gap between the two cars. Like there's a gap, yes, but it's not huge. And same goes for the cars that I built 2 years ago. Those initial D cars from the actual show, like the SIL 80, well, I used an S13, but the AE86, the R32s, the R34s, the RX7s, and all that, those are all that mid S1 tier as well. I think aside from the AE86 might be an A class, because that's as high as I could get it with the stock engine. But I did build the Project D version with like the engine swap and everything being mid S1. So all those cars, aside from one, are in that mid-tier S1 range. So even those will keep up with the new cars. That was the purpose for making them the way I did. But anyway, back to the point here. To get this car looking the way that I have it looking, you want to take it over to the paint booth, normal colors, and white. Base coat is white. I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. So for wheels, you want to go over to special colors, scroll on down, and it is aluminum semi-gloss is the color I have for the wheels. And of course tint the windows black. That's self-explanatory. Or if you want, I believe I posted this design if I'm not mistaken. It'd be easier to do this. Make current car, creator. If I didn't post it right now, because if it's here, cool, I can give you guys a share code. If not, which it isn't, I did make the MF Ghost livery though. There is a video on the MF Ghost 86. If I remember to do it, I will link that video down below, because that is a completely different build. And yes, so I will post this livery really quick. If I can find it. Should be around. Okay, there it is. Is it a good livery? No. But it has purpose as for why I did it, and I will explain that shortly. So, the share code for this livery is 119-448-315. One more time. 119-448-315. That'll get you the Itsukis 85 livery. That I didn't name that because of whatever reason. I also remember that I didn't tell you guys how to put the decals on the car. So, to explain why I did this the way I did, and I know it's a little weird looking, but if you look at here, let's do this. Let's do this. Whoops. 85. So if I find a picture of it, which I did, you see the bumper is black, front and back. Both bumpers are black. There's a picture of it. Again, bumpers, front and back are black. It's the back of the car. It's black. Which is why I did that on here. The 85 has black bumpers. Matte black bumpers, I might add. And the line on the door, this one was a little bit of my own, took my own creative liberties into this. But as you can see, the 85 has this line that goes along the molding of the door, and it starts from one end and it hits the fender, and then it goes to the other end and hits the fender. It does not go onto the fender, but it's between the fenders. And here, clearly I didn't do that. I kept it within the door. My reasoning for doing that is because the AE86 Trueno or the GR86 Trueno edition, I might want to say. 86 Trueno. Yeah, so the GR86 Trueno, this line goes from this vent here, this duct, to the end of the door. It's on the door. It's contained on the door. Plain and simple. The GT86 has no vent or duct here. So I just went from one end of the door to the other end of the door. Make sense? I mean, I hope so. So how I did this pretty much was I got I mean, on the front I had to use 3 different pieces because the front's got a weird shape on the GR86. But it's essentially, you want to go with the body line here. Or I think this might be, yeah, so you want to take this middle one as far up. I'll show you guys why. Here, I'll show you guys why. Make it green, or like yellow. Okay. You see the issue here? Because once I touch, well, I mean, I guess you could do that. Yeah, that works. So you could do it with one. Maybe I was a little bit stupid or tired or something when I made this, but yeah, so you want to get your one thing, you want to bring it on down until, because you don't want this here, you don't want no weird gaps, you want it one flush piece, flush line, plain and simple. You want it on the body line. So you see the mouse, you want it on the body line of the car. Then for the back, you want to do the same thing. Get one piece. I'll make this one, I'll highlight it yellow again. So yeah, one piece. You want it on the body line of the car, matte black. And I'll show you guys. So to make your vinyls matte, you want to hit the what is the options button? Wrong button. You want to click, how do I do it? Oh, the start button. And you can adjust between gloss and matte. You don't want full matte. I did it one tick to the right of this bar right here, the rightmost bar on the under the 2 T's in matte. Then for the sides of the car, I'm only going to do this on one side because it applies to both. You want to get your square here, I guess. You want to put it over behind the fender. You do not want this bleeding over in front of the fender. And you just want to line it up to the piece on the back. And then you want to do the same thing for the front. As soon as I get it over here, I just want to take a piece and line it up, plain and simple. And finally for the door, this is where this livery gets a little complex. You want to get your square here, you want to make it small, you want to rotate it a little bit, roughly 358 degrees we'll say. You want to extend it beyond the door, then you want to go apply mask shape and get your squares, which essentially anything this covers is invisible. You kind of want to just put it here, rotate it a bit, and kind of adjust it to your liking to the point that it covers any part of the stripe that exceeds the door line. See, there it is, and now it's gone. You want to do this on both sides of the door. Just do some rotating, blah blah blah, and there. Yeah, do that on both sides. And that's how you make the 85 livery. Oh, I forgot a very crucial detail here on the tops of the car. You want to go to the top. You want to find yourself an Acuna Speedstars livery vinyl. You want to get one of these, and because you can't place this stickers, yeah, on windows, what I did was I got one and I put it on the trunk just below the window, because if I remember right, it's like on the bottom of the window right here on the card from the show. So I put it just below on the trunk, and I also feel like on the roof it'd look weird. Then for the front, there's one there's one over the headlight on the, I guess technically driver's side, or if you're looking at it from the front, the left side. Excuse me. And it didn't look quite right when I tested it, so I had moved it to be to the right of the taillight, just next to the logo. That's how I did it. That was a mouthful. That was a freaking mouthful. Okay, so now we're gonna head on over to the mountain pass, and ooh, what do we got here? We got a wheel spin. Wheel spin. Claim my credits. Wheel spin. Spin for good luck. Damn it. Guess it's 12,000 credits more than I had before. Even though 12,000 is literally nothing, because I have 105 million. Okay, let's do it. Let's freaking do it. Now, heading on over to the mountain pass, we're going to do a downhill run. And I would like to add, before we get going, I built this car during March or April. It is currently the end of September, after the 21st. So I do remember the 21st night of September 2024 because I was bowling and I fell. I didn't cross the line, I just fell on my ass. Like when I rented the shoes, there was wax on the bottom of them already. So plain and simple, I fell on my ass. So that's how I'm gonna remember the 21st night of September, like the song says, until next year. Yeah. So, what we're gonna do, like I said, to take it downhill. But what I was saying, before I got sidetracked by the song and bowling, I built this car in like March or April. I have not touched it since I built it. I probably spent an hour and a half to 2 hours fine-tuning this car, getting it just right. Is that dude's name Diddy? Hey, yo. It is. God damn it. We're getting distracted again. So, yeah, built it in like March or April, and I have not touched it since. It has sat in my garage. I have not driven it one time since I built it. And here we are in September. So it's been about, what? We'll say late March. April, May, June, July, August. It's been about 6 months. 5 to 6 months since I've even driven this car. So my driving is not going to be on point. And I didn't do a practice run because it's a running joke on the channel at this point that I don't do it. I feel like I got a little aggressive there again, but it's fine. One more thing I'd like to add, a little disclaimer before we get going, is, look at that, Diddy. Bones, hey, yo! Is that this is not a drift car, so my drift zone score isn't going to be high at all. It's going to be, like, pretty mediocre. Yeah, it's not a drift car, it's a downhill race car. Same goes for the cars in the show. That's what they are, downhill race cars. But yeah, Bones Diddy. I bet somebody's doing that to Diddy in prison. Anyway, let's get going. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to say is the car is not a drift car, it just has the capability to drift. I probably should have stated that a little more clearly earlier, or yeah. I feel like my grammar was wrong right there, don't correct me on that. Hold on. Who is blowing up my phone right now? Who is blowing up my phone like this? Okay, I can ignore that text. And before you say anything, I didn't read the text, therefore it was not left unread. I read who was sending the text, and I will respond to it in approximately 3.5 to 5 minutes when I'm done recording this. Got my mustache, like, driving with one hand on the controller right now because my mustache is wanting to tickle my nose. Now I'm back to 2 hands. I normally don't pull the e-brake when doing downhill runs, but I kind of had to right there to regain control. And you can faintly hear that turbo whistle, and it sounds great. I wish it was a little louder, but it's fine. Oh man, I just realized I didn't show you guys the tune. Oh shoot, that's my bad. Oh crap. Oh man, I just completely blew my focus too. I got distracted with delivery. Oh man. I'm sorry about that, guys. I really do apologize. That's my fault. But I mean, like, at least you guys know how it drives now, you know? I felt like this. Ooh, it just started raining too, so perfect time to end the downhill run. But I knew it. I felt like I was forgetting something this whole time, and I felt like this recording was going really fast. And no friggin' wonder. No wonder. Stevie Wonder. Yeah, it's because I wasn't doing the tune. And I am doing that now. I'm sorry, guys. It's my fault. I'll make note of that earlier in the video. Anyway, for the tune, tires, you want 2.8 pressure in the front, 330, or 28.0 in the front, not 2.8. Hopefully not 2.8. If you got 2.8 psi tire pressure, that's a problem. Then moving to the rear, 30 tire pressure. Then as far as gearing goes, 2.20 final drive, the rest should be stock. If yours doesn't match this, go ahead, pause the video, match it up. Good to go. I'm unsure if it's stock or not because, like I said earlier, I built the car like 6 months ago. So, moving on to alignment, camber is negative 2.0 in the front. For the rear, it's negative 1.5. The toe is positive 1.7 out for the front and negative 1.0 in for the rear. And the angle for the front caster is 6.0. Anti-roll bars, 25.5 in the front, 19.4 in the rear. Springs, 473.4 in the front, 328.9 in the rear. Ride height is 4.4 in the front and back. Damping, the rebound stiffness is 6.5 in the front, 6.0 in the rear. For the bump stiffness, it's 4.0 in the front, 1.0 in the rear. Aero, if you got it, leave it stock. You shouldn't have it though. For brakes, your balance, you want 65% towards the front. Your pressure, 71%. Differential, 83 acceleration, 30 deceleration. I'm sorry about that, guys. That's my fault. I would normally do it earlier, but I got all caught up and distracted very easily today. I'm low on sleep. Hopefully I get a good night's rest tonight. And it doesn't help that I still have the jitters a little bit. I'm a little bit freaked out because I took an exam, literally finished the exam about 45 seconds, probably about a minute and a half before I started recording this video. I literally, after school, got a haircut, came home, did my exam, and then as soon as I turned that in, I booted up Forza Horizon and I hit record. So I'm a little bit shaken up from the exam still. Okay, I needed to get that noise out, whatever that was. But with all that being said and done, I'm gonna do some donuts here, because that's how we end off all the videos on the channel. And luckily, very luckily I might add, I caught that I didn't do the tune now instead of later, because later would have been a problem because I probably wouldn't have caught it until I was like editing the video, and I would have noticed that the runtime was too short. Either that, or I would have already uploaded it, and some a-hole in the comments would have been giving me hate comments for saying I was gonna give the tune, or like, and I didn't, or why would I give the build and no tune? So yeah, now you guys have both. So before I go, I want to thank you guys for putting up with my shenanigans. I'm gonna turn the other way because that name, I don't know if that is TOS or not. Even though I brought a whole bunch of attention to that dude's name earlier. Yeah, so thank you for putting up with my shenanigans and stupidity for today's video. Hopefully I get a good night's rest tonight. Not that it matters because I'm not recording tomorrow anyway. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you all in the next video, and that is all from me today. Jar Jar Booty. What are these names, bro? What are these usernames? First we got Diddy, and now we got Jar Jar Booty. My username is crap too. I made this Cool Guy 207. Oh my god, my voice just... I'm gonna kill myself. In game, in GTA 5. This name sucks. I was like 9 years old when I made that name. Probably not even that. I was probably like 7. It was cool to me at the time, but it freaking sucks. Now that I'm older, that name freaking sucks. And like, I'm too much of a cheap ass to change it. I don't want to waste money on a name change. That, and then like every video when I can't find share codes or something, I tell you to search by creator and use that name. So it's established at this point. It's staying. As crappy of a name as it is, it stays. But my name isn't as bad as the two that I have seen just in this video. Just in this video, I have seen 2 names that are... One of them is cancel worthy, and the other one is just plain stupid. But yeah. Now that is all for me today after that rant. Yes. I'm gonna edit this and go to bed.